Yo, 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 yo. What it do? It is RB22, accompanied by San Antonio Harry, and we got Sam out of Houston. Can't see him because he's
Invisible.
invisible. He's Casper, but just like Houston fans. Nah, just kidding. They were there this
Just
weekend,
like
but
Juicy.
ooh, there we go.
Oh.
All right, nice. How you
Well,
guys
I don't
doing?
think Derussi's the issue, so I think that's a little bit unfair. Let's go center
Let's
backs
go with
for Austin.
Rigoni.
Yeah, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. Harry, how are you doing, bro? How are things? You did the show yesterday. You got my Taylor Ducks making it to the final, so
Well, we
that's
got
pretty
them
cool.
going to the state finals in Georgetown, so if they do make it, you can pay your arm and leg to UIL, to go watch them. They'll probably lose to Bernie because Bernie is the two-time defending 4A champions for boys, looking to make it three. But yeah, if you follow high school soccer, yesterday, me with SA Soccer Roundtable, which is my other show that I do, high school San Antonio and just San Antonio soccer altogether. Um, we went through and picked all the UIL matches from 4A girls, boys, all the way up to 6A boys, girls, broke it up into six different shows. So I do apologize. We got off to an hour later than anticipated, had some technical issues on the girls' side, and then it worked out for the 4A girls. And so last night's show didn't happen because of me. And like I said, I didn't get home uh, till late, 10 o'clock. And so I do apologize. I know you guys were all waiting for me to do that. So,
All your fault, Harry. Come on now. But it's all right. It's all right. We got patient fans with Text Ring of Fire. Sam, how are you doing, bro? You coming off of your first win of the season. Congratulations. How are
It
you
feels
doing,
good.
bro?
It feels good. Feel like Houston was back for a little bit. We've been having that. We've been coming in and out of this like atmosphere where we bring people back and then we lose 4 games straight, have some hope, and then we lose 4 straight, or coach get fired, or something unfortunate happens, or something reshuffles. So it's good to feel like we're in some sort of stable state.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like it for sure. We will get into Houston and Austin, but we got to do the run me down of Austin FC lately. It's been pretty
what is it?
poor,
The
man.
days of our lives with Austin.
It's
So
been some pretty. It's been
before we get
rough.
into that, and Sam, maybe you can kind of reflect on this. Like Austin, it seems like there's drama like a soap opera. I know Houston, the New England game, they played like trash. I don't think if you follow Houston at all, nobody was happy about the result. And compared to past years, are you seeing some of that same drama, or you think just because of the turnover, everything's kind of new ownership, new coach? I think the GM's new as well. Hector Herrera's came in. Is this kind of like a little bit of a honeymoon period before the drama hits Houston again, or is the drama just with Austin because of Wolf and Reyna and center backs that are fit but not fit type situations?
Yeah. So I mean, for at least the Dynamo, I know that in the past, I think it was more the club being unstable that brought more drama than anything. It was more drama aimed at the FO and their decisions with players and just their decisions in general. And I feel like Austin's is more just a divide. It feels like there's there's so many people pointing so many different ways, and they want the club to go in different directions. And it doesn't feel like there's three people that agree on the same thing. That agree. There's people who are Wolf out, one Rigoni to start, and then one Giussi to be an MVP. And yeah, you want that from your players, and you want whatever's like the best for your coach and just for the club. But it seems like there's like a culture divide, and I mean, there's been drama. You had that drama with Romagna, with Wolf kind of just putting blame on players. I think he put some blame on Fagundes after the Violette match. So I think it's down to what does Austin want to do, and right now it seems like they're kind of just dancing around with different ideas, and it seems like the fans are doing the same thing. And so I think it starts with the FO, and you see them now making a direct decision again with like Claudia Reina that kind of just pushed them into the back. So I think it all starts in the FO and having to make an actual concrete decision, and that goes back to what I was saying about Houston. A lot of people were mad about what the FO does, and it's a lot of this decisions about the front office that bring fans apart and that bring fans away from the club. And so I think if Austin wants to stop drama, or even if they just want to cool it down, it has to start from the front office. There's nothing fans can do. It's more just the front office has to take a decision and make one. There's no like one that's just for sure. There's no going back on it. Whether it's Firewolf, bring in maybe a coach that they believe is more of a locker room guy, or if it just looking more into players before you sign them. And I don't know the exact situations because I don't follow like personally, but I know that Fagundes got a new extension. He hasn't played in 2 matches, I believe. So, well, he played, but he hasn't been like top notch. And I think people are saying that after that, it's like the Fagundes will leave, and then you saw that Romania drama about him leaving. So clearly, there's some disconnect, but I think it all goes back to the front office, and they have to make a decision there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you, but the question was kind of towards Houston, but we got to turn it into Austin for sure. No, but seriously, do you think is I guess moving forward with Houston, do you think that everything over there is kind of going smooth, like behind the scenes and all that before, I guess, like Harry said, before we do get into Austin? That way you can answer that question a little bit.
No, it's going smooth. There was those questions about Olsen and about his signing, and it felt like Pat was bringing just some of his buddies, but I think that all got like sorted. It all kind of got sorted out. I think people were just uh, Dynamo fans are always used to having to complain about something. We're not used to like front office. I'm not saying Palinstead knows exactly what he's doing. I'm not saying he does. He doesn't know exactly what he's doing, but we're not used to people making sensible decisions that probably make sense. So we look into something more than we probably should. And so when, like for example, when Ben Olsen was signed, a lot of people turned questions saying there are better options. Like, of course, those options coming out that apparently we had Tata Martino on our list. Whether he would have came or not is a different story. But you had stories going back all the way to the first hire, and you said, and I think it was Vucetic, one of the winningest Liga MX managers, applied for the job and showed his interest, and apparently he didn't even make it to the final round. So I think there's a lot of questions about what the front office is doing, but I think it's more than what we've known, and I think it's stable, and I think it's going in a smooth way. But there's still a lot of questions you still have. I talked about it a little bit on Twitter that basically that the club, it seems like they have this direction of promoting Dynamo 2 players. They want to have that as pipeline. And then they bring in this news of Eric Sviatchenko signing with the Dynamo for he's a 31-year-old. And we recently signed the defender Michael, who spent the season with Dynamo 2. And it pushes him down back to Dynamo 2. So now there's the situation where the club said they want to go one way, but it hasn't really looked like that's what they've been doing. Beto Avila, who they promoted to the first team last season, is with Dynamo 2 again. He hasn't got an opportunity this season. He had one in preseason, but no opportunities so far for any real Dynamo 2 players, like true Dynamo 2 players or even homegrown. So now I think this is a question that every single club is going to have, but is the direction that the club is putting out what they're really trying to do. But I think that's something that comes with time, especially with the new organization. But no, I think it's going smooth despite so many questions being out there.
I'm going to push back a little bit on you, Eric. Pardon me, Sam, on the signing of Eric. How many times in just in general have MLS fans in Texas and just MLS overall wished that Houston would bring in a named player? And by all reports, this Eric Saviceko, who played with FC Midland, 110
Yeah, so
appearances with them. According to a tweet by Glenn Davis, for a transfer fee of over $1 million, per Danish papers. He's played with Celtic. He's played with the clubs. To me, that's a signing. As somebody that follows all of the MLS teams, that's a signing that kind of excites me. To where, number one, it's most likely going to stabilize the defense of Houston for that here, which Austin would love to have that, and we'll talk to Austin because they're bringing a center back in as well, but it's a different quality of center back that they're bringing in. To me, I actually like this move. I understand that they're trying to play the kids, but Houston's got to have a better year than they had last year, and that's where I think bringing in somebody like this, can kind of help build that. To me, it's not only building that foundation, but building a winning mentality, in the organization, and have strong leadership. Just kind of, doing some research. This Eric gentleman, center back, is a captain and a leader, on his teams over in Europe. So if I'm a Dynamo fan, I'm kind of excited, for this. Now the question is how long it takes for him to get here. How long does it take for him to get adjusted to the heat and along those lines? For this signing here, I'm excited. And then to kind of bring it back to the game, a 2-0 win, home opener, in front of a good crowd for that here. Houston turned out well. The Surge, the supporter groups, El Battalion, Battalion, I think it is. And I'm sorry if misquoted. Had a good turnout. Austin traveled well. So as a neutral, who watched the game on the TV, it looked like a fun atmosphere. For there here, it was a tight game until I think PK was the first one that was scored, right? The PK that was the first one that was scored. And then of course Houston got one late. We'll start with you, Sam. Your thoughts from a Houston aspect of, kind of on the game, atmosphere. If you were at the game, just the environment. Was the environment different this year than in previous years?
yeah, so like you said earlier, like I said earlier, I was at the game. I think one of the things I mentioned already is that the Dynamo feels like they still have hope, and I think whether it's because it's a home opener against a team that most Houston fans will go against, or whether it's just home opening night, or whatever the reason people may come up with, it does feel like the Dynamo are back on track. The game, the atmosphere was good. I think for the first 15 minutes, it took a little bit getting used to, and I think that was because the sun was still out and there was some winds coming in. But after, I would say, like the 20th minute, the stadium was probably like at its fullest capacity, and through those 20 and 45th minutes is kind of when Austin kind of dominated that game, and that's when I started to get a little bit worried. Through like the first minute, 20th minute, I thought we were doing fine, but after that we started chasing the ball. It felt like Austin had full control, and I feel like they had a couple missed chances there. You had Ruthie who hit the crossbar, and then you had, I think, Rigoni, who probably should have done better with one or two chances. But the second half is when we turned it on. We didn't make any changes, and that's when it kind of got more electric. I think the culture change was, it felt like the Dynamo were bringing the pressure rather than like we saw I was at the game in Cincinnati, went all the way to Cincinnati, and it felt like the Dynamo were more. This is a complaint I've always had about the Dynamo, but it feels like they play down to or play up to whoever's level, but they don't try to play over. It feels like they're settling. So I think Austin was one of those games where I felt like the first like 20 minutes, it didn't look like we were doing that, but after that, I started doing that, and I started to get worried. But that's why I talk about the hope coming back in. It's in the second half, it looked like a different team, and it looked like a team with actual motivation. And I think it was around like in the 72nd minutes where we got that penalty call on Adam Lundqvist, our sleeper agent. And then Bassi got his first goal on his first MLS start. So there's that. You already have, he's off to a good start. He played versus New England. He wasn't able to do much. And going back to what you actually kind of said about New England, it was one of those dead performances where people are just disappointed. But I'll move on. And then Achache came in with scoring his first MLS goal to kind of quiet everyone, quiet all those people who were criticizing him. But I think going forward at the end of the 90, I was happy with the result, and I think it was a good way. It's a good way to lead into the game going into New York City FC, especially with, I believe Coco will be missing. So with the midfield being like key to our offense, them showing up in the home opener especially was good. I'll go back to what you were saying about Eric Sviatchenko. So the report came out that's going to be around 1.4 million. And I know you're saying, like, I'm not mad at the signing. I'm welcoming the signing. I have no problem with it. I think the only question I have is, where does that push the club's direction? Is they came out and added the new club. I think it was like in the MPSL. I'm not too sure. I didn't look too much into it, but they all off season they talked about creating this pipeline.
But that takes time, though. Because I'm real familiar with Houston. With the RGV, and then I think it was Brazo County that was kind of underneath them at the time. And the RGV relationship, that was a disaster on both sides. You talk with Edson from down there. You talk with most of the people in Houston. Nobody was happy about it. So I think having Dynamo 2 for that here, and they get to play Austin FC tomorrow night, 8:00. RB will probably be out there, cheering on the team.
Oh yeah, it. First game for us, so it's inaugural.
So to bring that back, but against a good Houston Dynamo 2 team, so it'll be interesting. Former SAFC player Leo Torres. For me, I'm kind of interested to see how he'll get time with. If he'll get time with Austin FC, if he's a starter or a role player, kind of along those lines. So a lot to look forward to as far as MLS Next Pro. Moving to you, RB. Close the door, AJ. Moving to you. Stupid son. It's 10:00 at night. From the Austin aspect.
That's why I give my kids melatonin. I'm like, hey, on show nights they take melatonin, bro. They're out. But yeah, the Houston Dynamo, they hosted Austin FC this past weekend. Obviously, if you don't know, there are a few people that they kind of just catch up with Austin FC through the show instead of watching the games or anything.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with it. But it's just the way it is. So Houston Dynamo hosted Austin FC. I'm just gonna run down the lineup real quick. For Houston, we had Clark, Steres, Bartlow, Hadibi, Schmidt, Carrasquilla, Archer, Herrera, Franco, Bassi, and Baird. Baird starting in the starting lineup over Ferreira. That was kind of the was that expected, Sam, or was that just kind of a curveball?
I would say all of it. There's been 3 changes now, including the Baird change at number 9, and Sebas just hasn't been performing. So that was a question going into the match, especially with him subbing in like the 62nd minute in New England and not doing much. There was a question there, but I think people expected Sebas to start. I expected Sebas to start, and I was personally not happy that Baird started, but it didn't really make a change, I felt.
Yeah, 10-4. And we had for Austin, Stuver, Kolmanich, Vicenen, Ring, Gallagher, Valencia over Wolf, Pereira, Fagundes, Driussi, Rigoni, and Urruti over Zardes. Urruti kind of expected. I think that's kind of one of those things where he has that knowledge of Houston and maybe can find pockets a little better in space just because he has experience playing with that team. Not afraid to take shots on them. He's done it in training. So just kind of one of those things, feeling comfortable playing against that team. And then, but the Valencia, they kind of threw me off. First half, we run it 0-0 by halftime. And Austin FC did start off pretty good first 20 minutes, like Sam noted. I was hopeful, very hopeful that we were going to get one, get maybe two. There was a few opportunities for both teams. So both teams were playing good in first half. Opportunities were coming, just, no one capitalized. 0-0 at halftime. We came out, just looked a little bit more flat the second half. And
not a little
Houston,
bit more, a lot flat.
Yeah, I mean, but compared, anyways, Houston, they looked well. They were completing the passing. Their link up play was there for this match, the second half. So, kudos to Houston. They get a goal off of a penalty. It comes off of I guess what was it, like the inside? What was it, like somebody's hand? I can't remember exactly.
Lundqvist.
I think it came off Lundqvist, right? Who had just signed.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The
That's what
yeah.
you said. The side of the
signed from Houston.
Because I was even like, man, I thought about you, Sam. I was like, this guy.
Sleeper agent.
Yeah, they claim that they sell us their players for that reason, so that they can make us look bad and do. But anyways,
Be at their own goal.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, against LA. So Bassi, he gets his first. Is that his first MLS goal, right?
Yeah, first MLS goal.
First MLS goal. First goal with Houston. 1-0 off a penalty, and then Hector Herrera también. He gets his first MLS goal. About time, but it was well played through Hector Herrera. He played that ball well, and just finished that ball, dude. And had his supper in front of him and ate it, dude. So congratulations to Houston Dynamo. My takeaways are just we got to get Ring out of that center back position, dude. Like, I think Ring not playing his normal position is hurting us. We need Julio
Would he
Cascante
play
back.
his normal position though? That's the question. Because
yes.
You think he would?
Yes.
He didn't at the start of the season. And I know we're 3 games in. So
exactly, and I understand that, but I think he would. I think Wolf is a great player. I mean, don't get me wrong, dude. He has been playing really well in that position. You can make the faces you want.
Great's a little strong.
Okay, well, he played well. He's been playing well to me. The way he can, I guess, make himself present in the midfield. I like it. And he's a dog. He's a little dog, man. So, you guys, I mean, he's obviously getting call-ups for some reason. He's getting U20 call-ups with the U.S. men's youth national team or U.S. youth national team. So, that's good, dude. We got a new player. I'm done with the Houston. I don't know if Sam wants to touch on the Houston game anymore, but I'm done with the Houston. You got anything else, Sam, for Houston?
Hey, I just want to make this comment. If Austin would have won, RB would probably still be, ranting and hollering and saying, "Oh, blah 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 blah." But because he lost, hey, we got to cut it short. We're on a schedule.
We don't got to cut it short.
I'll let him have his. I'll let him take time to think about what happened. We can talk about it next episode. We can talk about it every single episode until they beat us.
I will say, as far as for Copa Tejas for Austin FC, if they're going to lose a match, this was the match to lose because it doesn't count for Copa Tejas.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't want to lose a game at all. I mean, who the hell wants to lose a game to Houston? You got bragging rights for at least 2 months because we go back to you guys May 27th. So that's my birthday weekend, y'all. So you already know. About to act a fool. Me and my wife are gonna ride the bus.
Nice L for you.
Yeah, we'll see. Make sure you save up some all your allowance money so you can have some money to pay for your bets.
Already done.
Well, are you
Already
making
done.
the trip? Because I know this time,
I'm making the
you
trip.
and the family were on vacation for spring break,
Yeah.
rightfully so. And hopefully you and the family had a good vacation. So,
Dude, to touch on that real quick, it was freaking like 45 degrees, 50 degrees in Galveston and windy as hell. So it was kind of awful. We're going to have a birthday party next weekend for my daughter to make up for it. So, anyways, yeah, so May 27th, guys, that will be a Copa Tejas match in Houston. Make sure you join Los Verdes and you can get on the bus. Or I'm not sure if you need to join Los Verdes to buy those tickets, but you can get tickets and they're pretty cheap. They're like $40.
you should
You get
join Los Verdes anyways.
They're
Just
charging
Yeah,
you
because
you
they
40
should.
are a
bucks.
hell of an organization.
It's like
Um,
$40, dude, and you get on the bus
Oh,
and you
that's
get into
with
the
bus.
game.
That's with bus. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
if
you
you're an
get.
Austin FC fan, we'll just leave
No,
it at
it's
that.
good.
Yeah, you
I
can't wear orange. You can't wear orange, Sam.
don't know about that.
So
Nah.
there is a former version of this show here who cannot ride the bus. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I'm valid. I'm valid. I'm good. So yeah, I want to get into our new signing that we got. His name
and I
is,
have
let's see.
questions. I have questions for you from here that I'll see if I can dig up the tweet from there because I think he raises a valid credit.
Okay, so Austin FC, they announced that they signed. See, I'm gonna try to pronounce his name. It's Aleksandar Radovanovic, something like that. Something along those lines. But he's, I guess he's a Serbian center back. He's 6'2". He's 29 years old. We're still signing old guys to me. I'm 29 years old. I'm old. I'm done. I'm washed. I would love to have 24, 25-year-old center back. But, it is what it is. We only get him, though, on loan for 3 months. We get him until June 30th. So
with an
there's
option to buy, though. That's the key thing.
There's an option to buy. But, I mean,
Loans go bad for them.
let's see how long it's going to take for him to get here, first of all.
That's the tweet. I forget who pointed that out because I guess you guys had a similar situation last year.
Yeah, with Corozo. Washington Corozo.
By the time he got here.
But he got here and he got hurt. And then he had like an abdominal surgery while he was here. And then by the time he finally healed, like he probably, I don't even know how many minutes he played, but he didn't play much. He was a bust.
But do you think he's already here? Because let's be honest, Austin FC needs center backs out of the Sunday League today.
Mm-hmm.
I know you mentioned in preseason that that you've got an eye on a center back. Austin FC needs him. So just because rumors Kip Keller starting this weekend, or
yeah, I've heard rumors. I've heard rumors that he's starting.
Which
I messaged him.
I'm
I
excited.
messaged him. I was like, "Hey, bro, let me get your jersey after the game," and he just left me on red. So, but he saw it, so maybe he'll come over and be like, "Here you go, RB22. I love your show, man." What's wrong, Harry? You still upset?
I'm excited. I'm excited for Kip. It's a game in Austin. I had actually planned on going to the game, but AJ's got a game in San Marcos, a game back here in town. SAFC plays, and of course, SAFC is always before any of the MLS teams. And then the following morning, we're going to be going up to Killeen. So fun soccer life for me. They're playing Colorado, who's just tore up with injuries as well right now. I think they lost Jack Price, I think, for the year, if I heard that correctly, and their leading goal scorer from last year's hurt. So if you're going to put Kip in to kind of start to rebuild that confidence, this is a match to be able to do that. My only concern God forbid if he makes an error, is how the fan base of Austin FC is gonna react. And
I'm still backing him, man. Through it all.
No,
I'm
I
still
know. I'm not
backing
saying
him.
you, but we saw social media after the match. We saw and I'm not calling out We Are Austin TV because they do a great job and get a great fan perspective. But if you watch that show afterwards, nobody was happy with Kip at all. Period.
That show is so raw, bro. Like,
which is fun, which is awesome to see.
Yeah, it's so
you've
raw.
been on there a couple of times, and it's awesome
faded.
to see. And like I said here, to me, it's a great, and they do such a great job. But to me, that is my only concern. Now, the best thing for Kip, it's been what 2-3 weeks since that here, so people's probably calmed down.
Shit, feels like longer than that, but like 3 weeks.
We're only 3 weeks into the season. Or
real.
4 weeks. No, this will be game 4.
It's game 5.
Yeah, so 3 weeks. Oh, is it? Nah. Oh yeah, game 5. So it's been about a month. What we'll say. To me, we know how short memories are with fans. Is God forbid, and I don't think he'll do what he did against St. Louis, but God forbid he makes a mistake, gives up a goal. How will Q2 react? Number one. Number 2, how will Coach Wolf react? Because he did mention that, he's got to rebuild his trust. Now he may be hamstrung. I'm not sure Austin FC, because this is an international break. So I'm not sure if you guys are losing players or not losing players.
Yeah, we lost Vaisanen.
So.
Which he played with Finland today against Denmark. They lost 3-1.
So that would be my concern. And I'm all for Kip, and like I said here, giving him the confidence to rebound. And like I said here, I'm not an Austin FC fan, but I would love to see Kip turn in a great performance and have not be a negative when it comes to the Austin FC Colorado Rapids match.
Yeah. All right, well, I just want to catch everyone up to date on Austin FC. I think it's been since week 1 that we talked to 3-0, so it was Real Salt Lake. So we went to Real Salt Lake, and we beat them 2-1 in Real Salt Lake. And then we come back home, try to do the remontada, the comeback against Violete. And we got CONCACAF, man. We got beat fair and square first game and came back and just could not finish our dinner. 35 shots, I believe, that for that match.
You didn't get CONCACAF. You just couldn't finish.
No, we got CONCACAF. We got CONCACAF, bro. That's all right, Harry. That's why I got you. I got you to sit here and argue with what I say. So, but we did get CONCACAF.
Well, I'm not gonna let you spill misinformation.
Dude, we did.
I won't say you're lying.
But we did though, because we went.
How
over
did
there.
You got CONCACAF by your own players.
No, we went over there and we played a match against a team that we thought that we could beat like nothing, right? And we played a lineup.
You got wolfed is what
understand.
you got. You got wolfed is what you got.
Yeah, well, you can call it what you want.
CONCACAF to me is where dogs on the pitch, shady ref calling. Now there was some shithousery by the team from Haiti. That was a Violetta. If they got breathed on, they went down. But Austin FC had every opportunity to win that match, and they just could not do it. And
well, that's what I'm saying is that you go and you lose 3-0.
CONCACAF
yeah, it is, bro. It is.
No, it's not.
Look, you lose 3-0. You lose 3-0, right? And you come back, and what do you have to do? You have to make 3, right?
You got to make 4.
You got to make 3.
Austin
no,
made
all
4.
you got to do is make 3, and you go to PKs. Okay? Yes or no?
Probably yeah. But you go into a coin flip. That's what you're deciding on.
No, but then so then does it happen after 35 shots with all the shithousery like you say going on, and you don't think that's CONCACAF? Like
No,
you
because
have
you
35
guys
shots
had every
on.
opportunity. How many
Exactly.
shots in the first half
Exactly.
could you not hit on
Exactly.
frame?
My point is that you need the 3-0 and it's there, but it doesn't happen. Why? Because you get CONCACAF. But all right, but on to the next. So we don't make it through. Obviously, we win the game, which was, exactly, dude. I walked into a restaurant in Galveston, and it was Tauro FC and Leon playing against each other. And I was like, dude, like whoever wins this game, that's who we would have been playing. Like, how cool is that to just walk into somewhere like, and it's a international competition on the TV that people are watching, and that's a team that your club could have been playing, and it's just like, dude, like super embarrassing for us, bro. Like big time. Like
So
I was embarrassed as a fan. Like just like damn, dude. Like we're
yeah,
out of
you
this.
and Little Man on We Are Us on TV. We're sad, and I think Little
Yeah,
Man
bro.
smoked more than you. But here's my question to you. What is it with Wolf and these knockout competitions? Last year, San Antonio FC, I thought he put out a decent lineup, so I don't think his lineup. I do think San Antonio FC obviously proved they're a great team by winning the title and very competitive, and took a referee's decision in Houston to allow Houston to advance, but we won't discuss that, Sam. And then the mess down, in the Dominican Republic, against Violet. It's almost like he doesn't know how to manage in these games. I understand you want to do roster turnover, and I think I saw this is 5 games in 15 days or something along those lines. You guys are playing 2 matches a week for 4 matches in 10 days. So I understand there has to be some roster turnover. To me, though, for the first round in the CONCACAF Champions League, and I'm speaking from this as a fan here in the U.S., if you're MLS, that should be a prime competition that you're putting your focus on, especially where we were week 2, week 3 in MLS competition. Let's say you rotate, you lose to Real Salt Lake, but you advance forward. To me, number one, there's more money that's involved, with the CCL. Number two, you build up your brand even more. Yeah, as you mentioned, how cool would it be? I think you're playing a team from Mexico next round. How cool would it have been to have a team from Liga MX come to Austin FC, for a CONCACAF Champions League and to head back down there? Because from my understanding, there really wasn't the opportunity for the Austin FC supporter groups to really travel to the Dominican Republic really in full force to support Austin FC, just because of the wishy-washy of, hey, will this series even be played? Is Austin getting a forfeit? Getting the advance due to forfeit? To me, that's I'm interested to see how Wolf manages these upcoming knockout stages. And for Austin FC fans, is it just, hey, we're happy if we're competitive in the league, or does he got to start getting at least some results where you're not getting knocked out first round or early stages of these knockout tournaments?
Yeah, no, I mean, I couldn't tell you why the hell he does it. I mean, in a sense, it's almost like you really think Driussi is sitting there being like, hey man, that's turf. I can't go play on that field. Like I'm putting my request in for this game because there's turf. You know what I mean? And it's just like, what are we gonna do whenever we have a game in Seattle, or the games that are played on turf? Are we not gonna play Driussi, or what if we have to go to Seattle for a playoff game? Are we not gonna play Driussi? I mean, these are knockout games that you're playing, and it's a real head scratcher. Like, why aren't you playing these players? And you're worried about travel time, like 5 hours this way, 5 hours that way. Like, man, I get it. Like, trust me, I understand it. Like, I get it, as in like trying to keep players healthy and not risking them and all that. But like you said, it's the CONCACAF Champions League, and it's not guaranteed that we're going to be in it next year at all, or the following year, or ever again for that matter. Like, when do we know? We got lucky last year that we made it in because of the way things worked out. If it wasn't for Montreal, being the second Canadian team, then they would have been in it. So, just I don't know, bro. I couldn't tell you what he doesn't learn to me from the San Antonio game to this game. It's just gonna happen again, bro. I don't think that he takes these cup games seriously for some reason. I don't know why he takes the MLS. He wants to put all his marbles in the MLS. So yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know, but we get CONCACAF, like I was saying, and but RSL, they beat us. I mean, we beat RSL. We beat Villette, and we're out of the Champions League. We go to Houston, travel well. Like Harry said, pretty proud of those guys, the way they traveled. Because all you could hear inside the stadium was La Murga and Los Verdes.
All right,
So
bro. All right. Nah, you
on
couldn't hear him at
TV,
all, and I was sitting in the middle.
but on TV,
Bro,
you
because we were
could
always
hear them.
because we was attacking your side on the second half,
But
and even
it sounded
I
good.
rewatched that
I
game.
I wasn't there. But on TV, maybe because I know my songs. I could hear your songs here and there for sure.
I will say
But
this as a third party. I didn't know which supporter group it was. You could hear it,
yeah,
but I knew Austin FC had traveled well, and I knew the Surge and the Dynamo group had obviously represented well. I had no clue which one it was. So, in the fact that I didn't have a clue, I don't know if that says more about me not knowing what the hell your songs are, or along those lines, or what.
no, not at all, not at
But
all.
it came through. So if you're watching the game on Apple on Apple
Yeah,
Plus, the MLS through there, it
it did
came
sound good.
through. It came through great. I don't care. For me as a third party to it, I don't care who it is. You hope it's the home team, but like I said here, I couldn't make out whether it was Houston or Austin. That was signaling, and I was going to send a message to somebody in the group here saying who it was, but it didn't matter who it was because it brought
it was good.
It brought a great environment to the match, which let's be honest, for Houston fans, that hasn't happened very much where there's been that great environment.
Yeah, no, it was good to see the stadium filled like that and all that. So no, it sounded good. I'm just giving Sam a hard time, trying to get him going. So we play Colorado this match. Austin FC hosts Colorado. Colorado, man, not doing very well at all. They're what, 3? No, they're 0-1-3, or however they do it.
They're going to be the wooden spoon winner this year. I don't
It's
think
possible. Yeah, it's possible.
Number one, they have a shitty owner who has money to invest but won't invest it. Number two, they've got key injuries, which I don't know how they recover from that personally.
Yeah, I mean, we'll start winning some matches, but like I said, let me just correct it. They are 0-1-3, so they've won 0, they've drawn 1, and they lost 3. So their form is pretty bad, but I mean, Austin really got no room to talk. You know what I'm saying? Because their last, I guess they're 2-2 in the league right now. So they're 1 home, 1 away. They've won, and they've lost 1 home and lost 1 away. So it's really up in the air. There's no kind of statistic you can go off of to try to figure out if Austin FC is going to win this weekend or not. Colorado could come into Austin and pick up their first game, their first win of the season, and Austin FC is going to hit that panic button. I'll tell you what.
A little fun history about this matchup. Number one, it's 2 wins for Austin, 2 wins for the Colorado, and 1 draw. And if memory serves me correct, This was the first win in Austin FC history on April 24th in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
When I think it was your boy Fernandez, right, that scored the first goal.
Yeah, Fagundes.
For Austin FC. Now Austin FC or Colorado Rapids did come back to Austin, had a convincing 3-0 win. Last year on July 4th, Austin FC went to Colorado 1, but end of the season they drew 1-1 in Austin. So technically in Austin, the Rapids have one win and one draw. So we'll see if that changes this year here. But I fully expect Austin better win this match. I'll leave it at that. And
they have to. We've got to play more through the middle. And we've got to push through the middle. Have some play through the middle. I understand Sebastian is going to have to play free, but he's pushing out too wide when he has the ball. There's nobody left picking up his pocket, so that's just Austin FC got to win this one. Kip Keller going to get the start. Leo Weissman, he's out. Me and
they
my
got to win
daughter
convincingly too. They got
to win convincingly. They do. It can't be with those 1-0 or 2-0. So maybe Yassis Ardes will get his first goal against former team. Who knows? But me and my daughter, we're gonna go to this game. We got some seats for this match, so no supporter section this match. We're gonna go chill out, go relax, be tactical this game because I gotta see what's going on, man. Gotta see what's going on. I'm gonna analyze this game and have some fun with my daughter. So
you can watch the review on MLS Plus too. You know that, right? Just
the what?
Tossing that out there. You can watch the review and look at the tactical, on MLS Plus after.
Yeah.
On Apple after the match. I'm just saying, so that way you can enjoy it live.
I mean live.
Come back, watch it again.
I mean live. I want to be tactical live, because in that supporter section it gets crazy. Can't barely watch the game, but
yeah, you can't. Whether you're in San Antonio, and I'm assuming it's the same in Dallas, same in Houston, and I know it in Austin. If you're in the supporters group, watching the game is secondary. And I hate saying that, but that's really what it is, because you miss so much just because you should be active, I guess I should say. There are a few that don't, and at least here in San Antonio, I know they try to weed them to the out, and I have a feeling just on how structured Austin FC is, probably very similar, and like I said, I'm hoping the same thing in Houston and Dallas, but I don't have close relationships with the people in the Surge or what is it? Dallas Beer Gardens, I think is their main one.
Guardians or something.
Guardians.
Yeah. Something. But yeah, so shout out to everybody in Austin. We'll see y'all this weekend. We're gonna go ahead and get into some Houston Dynamo. We kind of already touched a little bit on their past game that they just had. They played some green team from Texas, but what's up, Sam?
In NYC, who San Antonio FC has a bigger banner than New York City does.
Whew. All right.
Yeah.
Hey,
so
but they're more recent. They're more recent, so.
Yeah, so we're going against New York City FC. So I think the main question was going into the start of the week was Ivan Franco going to be available? Who's going to be available based on the international duty? We had, of course, Juan Castilla and Xavier Valdez out. They're not going to play for us, and there's nothing against them, but they're more Dynamo 2 players right now. They're more pipeline players, like I was talking about earlier, but they're out. And then there were rumors that Sebastian Ferreira was going to get called up, but he ended up not getting called up. But Coco Carrasquilla got called up for the friendlies versus Argentina and Costa Rica. He didn't play tonight or make the bench versus Argentina because of a coach's decision. He basically played the B team for their match against Argentina because he felt that the matchup in CONCACAF was more important because that's who they're going to be playing for qualifiers. So basically, it sounds like we're going to be without Coco for the match. So that raises some questions in the midfield. Coco hasn't played amazing, but Coco still is valuable to the midfield. Is still a valuable presence. I know that I think it was Bayou City Soccer interviewed Ben Olsen asking him a question about who could we possibly see take over in that midfield position. And I think he ended up saying we could see August, who's from Creighton. We could even maybe see some Brooklyn Reigns, but most likely Luis Caicedo. And so I was trying to think out what the starting lineup will be. I think it's going to be we start with Clark in the back. I think we go with the same back line. Escobar is still questionable with lower body tightness or something like that. And then lower body extremity, that's what it is. And then the midfield, what I said is we're going to go into with Caicedo and Archer basically staying in the back with Achache coming off his good match versus some random green dudes like RB22 said. I think he's going to take more of an attacking role, I think, with his confidence and just with him being like the leader on the field. It's been looking like we expect a lot more from him, and we're starting to get it. I think Ben Olsen is going to take advantage of him being on the top of his game right now. And then at striker, I think he goes with Bassi again. It sounds like Franco is going to be good, even though his wife just had a baby. It looks like he'll be good to go, but maybe he doesn't start. But I'll say he starts, and then Sebastian Ferreira gets to start the 9. But one of the main things was, I think only one player is missing for New York City FC, but it's Chanet, who's their starting center back. So I was looking into that, and it looks like they're gonna have to drop James Sand, from center defense mid into center back, and they're gonna sub in. I forget his name, but he's gonna make form a double pivot, probably with Key and Parks in the back. And I think someone was saying that was an advantage for the Dynamo, and I think it is because I think it was We Are Austin TV. They described the Dynamo as chaotic in their midfield, and I think that's exactly what it is. It's like even when there's chaos in the midfield, the Dynamo are able to control the ball that way, and I think it comes back into bringing the pressure, and the Dynamo can take advantage and put pressure onto New York City FC. We can probably get a result. Of course, they have Santi Rodriguez, Gabriel Pereira, Thais Magno. They have a lot of firepower, but one of their things is it's always been one of those teams that they have the ability to do so, but it just sometimes they're not able to pull out a win or even pull out some goals. So I think going to the match, I think it's a game you need to win. It'll be a proof if maybe last match was more just of a home opener, we need to win this game, or if it was actually Ben Olsen's system working. We'll go into that game. It'll be our second home game, and then we'll go off to I forget where, but we're gonna go off on an away game 2 weeks away. So it'll be good for a Dynamo team that hasn't been good away from home and hasn't been and that's been terrible away from home for a couple of years. It'll be important for us to just make sure that we can secure a win at home.
It will be a home game for you guys. You playing San Jose.
I'm saying in the future. And you're playing Columbus next week.
We don't play Columbus.
Whatever.
What do you call them?
Who, Columbus? We call them Screw the Crew.
Why would you screw the Crew, bro? What's wrong with them?
Like they tried to and they failed.
Not us.
Well, no,
not us.
But you can't. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
not us.
That's a whole separate discussion. I don't want to get into that. That caught me off guard. As like we don't say. I'm like, well, what do you call them? So
at home.
Since we don't have anybody from FC Dallas,
no, so we don't play them.
Oh, you don't play them?
Mm.
Oh, I thought he said that you play the Crew next week. But moving on to FC Dallas, they did get a comeback win against Sporting Kansas City. So my pick of Sporting Kansas City looking good is not looking very good this early in the season. They got time to turn it around, but no, Sporting Kansas City can go take a flying leap with them trademarking soccer capital or some bullshit like that.
Yes, soccer capital.
Are we a PG show or are we let it hang show?
We're whatever you want, however you're feeling.
So fuck Sporting Kansas City, dude. You're pieces of shit.
There you go,
dude. Make a podcast. Change their name over soccer capital, which nobody thinks of Sporting Kansas City as the soccer capital of America. Nobody. I
didn't know that existed.
Not even Sporting Kansas City fans. So, but that's a separate tangent. But no, FC Dallas did have a good comeback win. They gave up a goal to Daniel Solio in the 11th minute. After halftime, Alan Velasco got a goal with an assist by Sebastian Lletget in the 55th. Kansas City missed a PK that was saved in the 62nd minute. And then Jesus Ferreira got a goal in the 84th minute to ice it. Sebastian Igabaga came on for former San Antonio FC and USL Defensive Player of the Year. So congrats to Sebastian Seba. And prior to that, I'm just trying to see here for FC Dallas because it's been a minute. They did draw Vancouver on the road, which is a little disappointing, I think, overall. But so far on the season, I think they're fourth in the West here at 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Austin FC, you got to go down to sixth or
you don't have to. It's not like you got to go far or something like that. You got to be all over exaggerated. Like, chill out.
And in the playoffs, Houston Dynamo won 3 points, 1 win, 2 losses. So. When the Dynamo get the win this week against NYCFC and Austin FC chokes it against Colorado, they'll be tied at level on points. Or actually, no, they'll be 1 point behind. So
it's wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. Hey, but we got to talk about first place.
Huh?
We got to talk about first place. First time ever,
dude. The powerhouse
has started. Yeah, first time ever a team has started. Winning their first games, their first 4 games.
Four. St. Louis FC. And
St.
I
Louis
know they
City.
had, or St. Louis
Soccer
City,
Club.
Sorry. USL. Sorry, my bad. I'm gonna get it. They're gonna come after me.
Yeah, you.
They defeated San Jose 3-0. Went to Portland, beat them 2-1, beat Charlotte 3-1, and of course they took care of Austin FC opening week 3-2. That loss isn't looking as bad as it was. I've watched a lot of the St. Louis City, and I know you saw them the first match. They have a clear identity for an expansion team is a huge advantage. And one of the things that I think that went under the radar is they had a core of their team last year for the MLS2 and MLS Next Pro. So they were signing players in. So even though they're a expansion team, a lot of these players have played together already under the same system. And to me, that's a big advantage. Now, do I think, they're going to go undefeated? No. Obviously. Do I think that they're a possible playoff team? I think they're kind of in that discussion at this point. But they're going to have, just like with any expansion team, they're going to have some ups, they're going to have some downs. But, if you're a fan or if you get the opportunity to go to St. Louis, just like with Q2 and Austin FC, from my understanding, it's a hell of an environment. I know the Luligans, do a great job. And if you follow Flyover Footy, for their podcast, or This Is Silly, which is a podcast for them, they do a great job. And then the podcast that had to change, I forget what their name was, but like I said, if anybody can give them a follow, just to kind of support them as best as we can. But no, it's St. Louis FC, or St. Louis City. They'll always be St. Louis FC to me. St. Louis City. They're doing what Austin couldn't do the first year.
Okay. Anything else you want to add to that, or I mean?
No, I'm just because Austin FC's first year they struggled at the start, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but we're not talking about Austin right now. We're talking about St. Louis City.
Well, we always
Which
talk about Austin or Dallas or Houston.
yeah, I mean,
This
well,
is
obviously
Texas
you
Ring
got
of
to.
Fire.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you got to.
So you got to bring it
talk
back to
about
one of them. You're the last expansion team.
All right.
Houston was never an expansion team because they're a relocation team.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Sam.
He fell asleep already.
No comment.
But yeah, so
I didn't go as far as to say your
congratulations
rings
to-
belong to California. I didn't go that far. I know there are people that do, but I'm not that person that says that because I do think that that was what the Chang years, right? If memory serves me correct. And he was a hell of a player.
Yeah. So I lost my concentration. Thought with that one right there.
Talking about Dynamo, that does it for you, right?
Yeah, no, St. Louis City. St. Louis City. Oh yeah, we're gonna try and go over there in August. We play them in August.
Oh, yeah?
So that would
It's not a
probably
bad
be doable.
drive.
Yeah, we'll probably drive.
Not a
over
bad
there.
drive.
Yeah, I'll probably drive.
Whenever, if Kip gets the ball, call for it.
Yeah, okay.
We get free ball.
It's probably not gonna happen again, but who knows? It's the MLS. All right, Harry, break us down and bring us into your world a little bit. What's going on? You guys getting ties against Loudon? Come on, man.
We drew against Loudon. Now, we could have used your son on the bench
Oh,
because
shit.
we had 3 academy players. San Antonio
Lone
only
Star.
had,
Shout out Lone Star.
we only have 17, 18 players, full-time players at this point. So San Antonio FC typically runs short at the start of the season and then fills gaps and brings in players as the season progresses. Unfortunately, injuries have took effect. We had 2 players out, 2 starters out for personal reasons. We found out that their significant other had children. So congratulations to them. And like I said, awesome as a father that you're taking time to spend with the family. I don't think anybody would disagree with you on that or disagree with that decision. So a little bit thin. Loudoun United is a new team that was formerly DC United's MLS2 team, but due to their stadium agreement, could not drop to MLS Next Pro. So DC United sold it to it's a minor league ownership group in the area. So they're going to be interesting going forward. They're a young team. I think they're better than what people thought. But yeah, from a San Antonio FC fan, coming back, it's probably a little disappointing for it here. But then if you look at the injury aspect, we were out 6. We lost PC, 10 minutes into the match. They brought on Abu, who's just coming back from injury, and they're trying to phase him in slowly and obviously putting him in for 80 minutes. It was a away match. It's early. I thought they were going to lose personally, just kind of how the game went after PC went out. But they got a point on the road, which during the season, if you win 3 at home, get 3 at home, you earn 1 on the road. Typically, you're going to be very successful for that here. So they play home Saturday against Colorado Springs, dollar beer night. So if you've got a designated driver,
Dang,
or
Harry,
smart,
you getting dropped off or what?
no, I got kids.
You got what's your son's name again?
AJ?
He can drive or no?
Not yet. That's next year. Because it'll be
Dang.
15 this year. So I'm 1 year away from that. RGV, though, on the other hand,
Didn't they get an L too?
they did not. They got a draw. Now, they should have had an L because the guy hit the crossbar right at the death, but they drew Oakland 1-0. So RGV is 2 draws. So they drew
seventh on the table right now.
They drew Vegas 1-1, and they drew Oakland Roots 1-1. Hell of a goal for the goal by RGV. I forget by who did it. But they play tomorrow night. So if you don't have plans, if you still have your ESPN Plus subscription, which you should have, just because it's a great subscription for all sports. For that here, they are playing Monterey Bay for that here.
Jonathan Ricketts scored the goal.
Yeah. So now the team that we have to talk about, El Paso. They are 0-3. They traveled to Louisville City, who was in the finals last year against San Antonio, who are 2-0 with 2 away wins at Orange County and at Monterey Bay. So they did the California trip out to them. So, like I said, to me, that's a tough match. They play Union Omaha in Open Cup. So for El Paso, it's a rough start along those lines to
and all
season.
Home games too.
All home games. Yeah, they had 3 3 in a row. New coach. They're trying to transition things. I think if you look at their lineup from last year to this year, it's better. But it's a new coach, new system along those lines that they're just trying to go through. So, me personally, I wasn't high on El Paso going in. I just don't think that they have the right roster at this point. But to me, the interesting thing, obviously, rematch of the Western Conference Finals, San Antonio, Colorado FC. Lamar Batista, who is on a 25-day contract. We're going to see if San Antonio FC extends him. In that 25-day, he's had been on the USL Team of the Week twice. I think this one was a reserve. If you follow Football Americas, his first week, he had the first goal on a bike off of a corner, and then a shot for midfield. In the second half. For that here, which was their number 9 goal of the weekend from Football America. So for a guy on a 25-day contract that came from Rochester, MLS Next Pro team that folded, pretty good result. And if you have Florida Atlantic in NCAA basketball upsetting Tennessee, congratulations. They're about 4.8 seconds away from going to the Elite 8 for a Conference USA team. And if you play basketball and you have eligibility, UTSA is looking for people. Check this out. There's 15 people typically on a basketball team, right? And UTSA basketball sucks. Their coach, there's a lot of questions with the coach. So far, they've got 4 players left out of those 15.
How?
Everybody else has went into the transfer window or graduated along those lines. So if you've got eligibility, UTSA just down the road, I'm sure
PSA.
they can take you here. just helping out here, anything I can.
Harry, you gonna go try out or what?
No, dude. I wrestled in high school. My leaping ability is about this tall, and even on the playground, I got more shots rejected back in my face than.
Come on now. All right, so
I was more of a hugger. We'll just say, as far as those terms.
There you go.
How'd you do in basketball? I bet you're probably pretty good, right? You got some wheels.
I wasn't bad. Yeah, I played everything though. Played like baseball, basketball. I tried football. They had me on the line as a linesman, so I didn't like that. I liked catching the ball or throwing the ball. I was a chubby kid, so they were like, back of the line, chubster. But Club de Leon FC, where is that? You guys have Open Cup game.
It's a new NISA team out of the Orlando Kissimmee area.
Okay.
Originally, the game was supposed to be played over there in Orlando. Somehow it got changed, either due to field dynamics or money exchanged hands or something along those lines. Who knows? But it's now being hosted at San Antonio, April 4th. So they're only opening up one side of the stadium for that.
Nice.
With the opportunity to move on and most likely face an MLS team, which would probably be Houston or Dallas, most likely, depending on who wins, because Austin doesn't come in until round 4.
Yeah, because we're too good.
Year. Well, last year you were too good. This year, to be done for discussion.
Hey, it's probably better for us. It probably looks better for us because we make it farther now. You know.
I will say this. So his phone ran out of battery here. Hold on 1 second here. For Sam.
Oh, okay, I see. He's probably not gonna come back.
He asked for a link, so I'm sending it to him again.
Okay.
For here, but if he hops on, he hops on. But to me, I don't. I know this is gonna sound kind of silly. I don't want Austin FC unless it's later, just for the fact that number one, I want to be able to say, hey, we still hold it, because we know the next time San Antonio and Austin plays, Coach Wolf better be putting out its A+ lineup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you disagree with that?
No, yeah, of course, yeah. I mean,
Well, you're kind of hesitant, so I was like, well, just kind of getting for clarification here.
No, I said yeah. I mean, it's a pretty damn obvious question.
Well, it's not with how he does it.
Okay, well, no, yeah, no, I want to be lineup. Like, yes, I fucking expect a lineup. Like, we have to put our best players on the field. You know, this isn't YMCA
if it's against
soccer.
San Antonio, I think if you play RGV or
you can't
El Paso
anymore. You can't anymore.
You
Harry.
don't think so?
You can't no more. He lost that ability. He lost that option now.
Oh wow! So he's lost it altogether. Wow.
I think at this point it don't matter who. I don't care if we're playing the Taylor Ducks from Taylor Heights like we've got to play Driussi and put 10 on these boys. But yeah, nah. Well, that's all I got tonight, brother. I mean, you got anything else?
No, just if you get an opportunity. I know we started this show with high school. If you get an opportunity to go out, whether it's go support Taylor High School or support any of the high school kids. I know tonight Lake Travis and Austin Vandergift, Round Rock, and Del Valle, I think is how it's pronounced. I know you guys pronounce it a little bit different, but there's a lot of high school action going on in and around the San Antonio, Austin, Houston, Dallas area. Go out and support the kids. Like I said, they are our future. You'll see some good soccer. Now, you may see some ugly soccer as well, as far as from mismatches in the early rounds. But just to kind of plug, if you do have the opportunity, go on to SA Soccer Roundtable on the YouTube and watch the shows. It was a lot of fun. I will say the 4A girls, there were some audio difficulties, but all the others had went.
Hey, that's iconic here. It's all right here. It's welcome here.
Well, Coach Kano from the 50, he has a more professional setup, we'll say. So I had to take the behind the scenes. There's an echo thing that kind of prevents the sounds from echoing. I had to take that off, but on his, because he has the slide bars and he can adjust the volumes and stuff, through his mixer. I think that's what it's called, for that here. But to me, it was just like we're like. Sometimes volume was great. Sometimes people would be like, no, it's missing. The sucky thing about it is, when we were looking at it, we had over 1,000 views for the 4A show. And then for the, when we started up the next one there, for the 4A boys, it dropped to, about 400. I think part of that had to do with the audio technical difficulties, which we've seen that here. It sucks, but
yeah,
and it will be on podcast form as well. So Spotify, Apple, just like our show here, Texas Ring of Fire is. But obviously, I want to plug my show here. Just definitely all the effort that went
Hell
into
it. 6 hours,
Um,
dude. 6 hours these guys put
more-
into high school. More than that because of the prep and all that. So y'all
But
go check out that show.
More important, if you get an opportunity, go out and support the kids. Support local. I know you got a big match. Well, we'll hear before we get out of here. Do you want to touch base on Austin FC 2. I know we briefly talked about the match. I think tickets are $10.
Yeah, with fees.
It's at the practice facility, right?
It's at the Palmer Field. It's at the pitch. They're supposed to have a little tailgate tomorrow. We do host Houston Dynados tomorrow for our first inaugural game. A lot of new signings supposed to be playing tomorrow, like Valentin Noel, and we'll see some Mazzaferro and maybe even some CJ Fodre. We interviewed him a couple weeks back, so he's probably going to be signing there too. So you guys pull up. It's 8 p.m. Me and Russell, me and my son will be there. So,
your thoughts on the turnout? Because this was a discussion on it. Do you think that the tickets? To me, if you're doing a 2-team, if you're a season ticket holder for the senior team, you should be able to get into Austin FC 2.
Yeah.
Now you may have to reserve it, so there may be a limited number saying, "Hey, 500," and then 500 sold to the public for that here. But I think if you're paying $500-$600 a seat,
well, you gotta think that it's nowhere near that big. Palmer Field is nowhere near that big.
It's 1,000. It seats 1,000.
That's questionable.
Well, that's what it says it seats.
Really, 1,000?
Palmer Field, because that's at the training facility, right?
1,000? Yeah. Okay, 1,000. Yeah. Okay. I for some reason I see 10,000. 1,000? Yeah. 1,000?
No,
yeah.
1,000.
Yeah.
But if you said 500 for season ticket members,
ticket holders, yeah.
And it's a first come first serve. So if you get in line, or however that they decide to do it, if you express interest, to be able to do it, and then the second half could be sold to the public, $5 or whatever, for that here, along those lines. Sam, welcome back here. We're talking MLS
talking
Next Pro tomorrow. Here, for that here. Do you know how the Dynamo 2 does it with Dino Dos? Is Sam back or no? He may not be back. So let me do that here. But your thoughts on the Austin FC, 2, and kind of what that'll mean for, for Austin FC.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea. But it's all a money grab, bro. I mean, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. It would be super nice. It'd be awesome. And you will be able to watch this match on MLS app or Season Pass tomorrow. They are going to stream this one tomorrow, so that'd be pretty cool. Especially when you can't make them to, make it to the games all the time. You can at least just pop on there and see how the boys are doing for any club for that matter. Whether you go for FC Dallas or Houston Dynamo. What's up, Sam?
You
there?
Back, Sam?
Maybe.
So it looks like for Dynamo Dos, they've got supporters for around.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. So they're selling tickets.
What were you guys saying?
For $7 in kind of the end section, what they call the supporter section. On the on the sides, with the exception of the middle, it's $10 plus fee, and then if you get in the prime seating area right in the middle of the pitch, it's $15. So they have a tiered seat.
Yeah.
But $15 for that's a lot.
I think it's free for season ticket members.
Oh, there we go though.
See, so maybe in the near future, guys, for Austin FC, we can do something like that for us. But as of now, $10. Go get your tickets on SeatGeek. We'll see y'all tomorrow, possibly out there. If not, we'll see y'all Saturday at Q2. Sam, you going to what is it, home game for y'all? Yeah, right. You going to the match this weekend?
It's 50-50. I may go, I may not. I don't know yet.
And then Harry will be in San Antonio. So if you guys see us out at the games, holla at us, say hi. We appreciate everyone listening. giving us your time. And we know that there's so many podcasts that you could choose to listen out there, but you're listening to ours, so we appreciate it. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, follow Sam, follow Harry, follow me. Come banter with us. We do it all day. We don't back down from it. And we know that it's all fun and games. So at the end of the day, it's nothing personal. Rate, review us, subscribe. We are on YouTube now. We go live. So if you want to watch us live, come comment. Put the banter in the comments. Harry will post it for us. That's our producer with the jokes right there. So he goes on there and he comments by himself, makes himself laugh. It's pretty funny. RB, why so sad? Hey, it's been tough. It's been tough, y'all. It's been tough couple tough last week. So we need, man, Saturday, man, next show could be either like just where RB is just like, yeah.
Do we need to light a candle for you, my friend?
Yeah, we need La Virgen. La Virgen. Everyone, persínosen. Y'all say a prayer, you know what I'm saying? Nah, but shout out to everybody. We appreciate it. We'll see y'all next week. I'm your host, RB22. That's Harry out of San Antonio.
Harry in San Antonio, and Sam behind the mask in Houston.
Invisible.
Yes, sir.
Like the Dynamo fans. Oh, we opened and ended the show with that.
Oh,
Nah. All right, man. We'll see y'all next week. Stay better than my friends.
whoa.
Peace.
Nah.
Say whoa.